We are in the center of Bishar in Algeria. We just came from Tahit in the gates of the Sahara. We're now heading north to Oran and we stopped.
السلام عليكم الاخوان الاخوات، اتمنى تكونوا بخير. مرحبا بكم في فيديو جديد. الا كنتي اول مره كتشاهدنا ضغط على زر اشتراك باش تتابع الجديد ديالنا. عجبك الفيديو خلي اعجاب وخلي تعليق ودير فيه الملاحظات ديالك. تفرجوا في الفيديو حتى الاخر.
We are in the center of Bishar in Algeria. We just came from Tahit in the gates of the Sahara. We're now heading north to Oran and we stopped around here to check things around. And I'm gonna take the time now to make a video. The last video I did was about advantages of traveling in Algeria versus traveling in Morocco. Well, to be fair, now I'm gonna do the opposite. So I'm gonna give you 5 advantages of going to Morocco instead of Algeria. So here it goes. Number one, and right off the bat, it's way easier. Not just easier, it's way easier to enter Morocco. It's not even comparable. First off, as a European, as a Portuguese, and I assume it's the same for every other European country, you don't even need a visa to enter Morocco. You can just cross, they stamp your passport, that's it. To enter Algeria, you need a ton of things. You need insurance, you need a bank statement proving that you have funds to provide yourself with, to sustain yourself. You need photographs. There is all this legal procedure to obtain the visa, and even after you enter, there's a ton of work. You have a huge line with customs, all that. It's a mess. So no doubt it's just way easier to enter Morocco. So that's number one. Number two, Morocco, and this again, I mean, obviously I'm basing this entirely on my own experience, and this is obviously not the absolute truth, but from my experience this is what I think. Morocco, this is number two, Morocco has more things to see. That's pretty much it. Algeria is huge, has a lot to offer, but Morocco has all the imperial cities. There is a lot more attractions in each city. For example, now we are in Bishar, and there's not much. There's not much. I've been in Algeria for a week now, more than a week, and I've seen one, maybe 2 museums, and in Morocco you just have way more things to see, more museums, more offers for the tourists to explore and to enjoy. So, and this might be a disadvantage for some people. Some people might not even be interested in seeing museums, but from a general point of view, you have more things to do in Morocco as a tourist, as a traveler, as a visitor. Number 3, and this is related, Morocco is simply way more prepared for tourism. What does this mean? It means that the food is better. They're better in the sense that there are more options. There are more Western food, stuff like that. Hotels. There are more hotels. There are more options as for accommodation. Little hostels. I haven't seen one single hostel here. Just a few family business like guest houses. But those are rare. Those are rare and are very, and they are not promoted. So you basically don't know they even exist. You can barely find anything online to stay, eat here in Algeria, and in Morocco there is just an endless myriad of options. Their level of English is better, especially among Berber people. They speak English pretty well. I've met 2 people perhaps in Algeria that did speak English, and badly. So it's just not the same. So number 4, and this is related to one thing that I mentioned as an advantage for Algeria, which might seem a little bit contradictory, but depends on context. So this I'm saying in another sense. Number 4 is that Morocco is more relaxed. Relaxed in what way? There's no police. There is not nearly as much police as there is in Algeria, and I'm lowering my voice now because there might be police around and they might understand what I'm saying. I'd rather not take the risk. So you see, this is what I'm saying. I have to have a level of care in Algeria that I don't need to have in Morocco. Of course, just today, we were leaving a hotel, and at the hotel, at the reception, they were saying that the police were waiting for us at the exit of the city because they wanted to just do a checkpoint, see where we were going, and then we left the town and they were not there. But it's, you know, it's kind of, it gets a little bit uncomfortable. So that's what I mean. Another important thing to mention about security is that in Algeria you just can't photograph anything you want. There are very sensitive things like police units, military installations, police headquarters. If you shoot something like that, if you photograph something like that and they see you, you might be in trouble. In Morocco they are way more relaxed in that. So it's part of it. And finally, number 5. And this is just what I think. Again, it's out of my experience. Some people might have a different opinion, but this is what I have experienced, and that is that Morocco is a little bit more open and tolerant to visitors, to other cultures, to women. I must say, that's the way it is. I mean, a Western woman can pretty much walk around touristic cities in Morocco and nothing happens. She might be a little bit harassed here and there, a few loud mouths saying crap or whatever. But in here it is worse. I've heard stories like from friends that, like a friend of my father that entered the cafe, and simply by entering a cafe, she was people were talking down to her, saying you cannot be here, you have no shame, whatever. So they are less tolerant in that regard. And regardless, this is interesting because despite the people, Algerians, being very nice and very welcoming, they have their own rules, you know, their own traditions, and they just don't see the world in the same way. And what does that mean? It means that the cultural shock might be bigger. And I'm being realistic, especially for women. So, in other words, if you're a woman and you want to visit a country like this, I would definitely recommend you Morocco before Algeria. Not that the Algerian people are not nice, on the contrary, they're great. But there is a huge cultural shock. There is a cultural shock in Morocco as well, but here it's even bigger. So, and that's it. 5 things that you need to know and that hopefully will help you if you are undecided between visiting Morocco or Algeria. Check out the other video mentioning the advantages of traveling in Algeria, and just make up your mind. I hope it was helpful. So safe travels and keep expanding.
حاولوا تشاركوا معنا يعني الافكار ديالكم، وحاولوا تخليو الهاشتاغ باش نطلعوا الفيديوهات ديال الصحراء المغربيه. يعني كيف ما كتعرفوا كنتعرضوا لهجمات من الذباب الالكتروني الجزائري. دونك باش نطلعوا هاد القناه ونطلعوا الفيديوهات ونستمروا، خليو تعليق او تعاليق. قد ما درتوا تعليق اكثر راه مزيان تكون فيهم هاشتاغ ديال الصحراء المغربيه. بالنسبه للفيديوهات نحاولوا نتفاعلوا معهم. علاش؟ على حساب الكوبي رايت. كاين بزاف تاع الناس يعني كيقول لك نخليو الفيديو يتمشى، ولكن المشكل غادي يكون عندنا في الكوبي رايت. الا خليت الفيديو وبقينا ساكتين غادي يضربوا بالكوبي رايت. دونك ضروري خاص يكون واحد التفاعل. المهم صبروا معنا.